Hello everybody and welcome back to Dr. Ghost Games. If y'all are new to the channel, welcome. I'm Dr. Ghost and I make content for the game World of Warships Legends. Today we are going to be back in the Tier 7 Premium American Battleship USS Massachusetts. Easily my favorite battleship in the game. Don't know why, but it just is. Well, actually, I do know why, but we're going to get into that here in a little bit. But yeah, so if you guys are new to the channel, please do not forget to go down there and hit that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel. We are getting very close to 1,100 subs. You guys are freaking awesome. I cannot thank you guys enough for the support thus far. This channel has grown so much, and I have you guys to thank for that. But yeah, if you guys would also like to join the Discord, you guys can do that as well in the link in the description of this video. We've got a lot of cool stuff down in the description. I'm sure a lot of you guys that even watch the channel for a long time have probably not even checked that out. But with all that being said, let's talk a little bit about the Massachusetts. Yeah, so Massachusetts is obviously a Tier 7 American battleship, and she was one of these South Dakota class battleships. She's got these amazing 16-inch 45 caliber Mark 45 guns. Someone could probably correct me. They might be 50s. I'm not sure. But they're very good nonetheless. And they have a very high firing arc, so you're actually able to get some shots over islands just like we showed off just then. And yeah, the guns on the Massachusetts hit like trucks. They're very good. They're 16-inch guns. Very nice indeed. And yeah, now one thing about the Massachusetts too is it has the best secondaries for any American battleship in the game. You can get your secondaries out to 10, maybe even 11 kilometers if you really build into it. Secondaries on the Massachusetts are fantastic. You've got a lot of 5-inch guns in those dual mount 127 millimeter mounts there. They're very nice indeed. And yeah, MASSA is a very capable secondary ship if you want to build it for such. Very capable and the best in the game, at least for the American battleships. Now, the armor on the Massachusetts, very good, but it's pretty actually average for the tier, I would say. 32 millimeters of bow and stern plating, 32 millimeters of deck armor plastered basically everywhere. You've got American superstructure, so HE will absolutely plaster you. HE will really plaster you anyway, especially if cruisers have the equilibrium of power perk on. Yeah, they will eat through that 32 millimeter plating. However, heavy cruisers like Baltimore, Wichita's, Megamis, so on and so forth, will eat through that 32 millimeters regardless. Their HE should penetrate your 32 millimeters of deck armor. So HE really does screw this thing over. But AP, if you angle correctly and get people to aim at your hull, not your superstructure, you can ricochet a lot of shells and of course shatter shells as well. Now, the one thing about the South Dakotas is that they have fantastic torpedo protection. Massachusetts and the Alabama have fantastic torpedo protection, about 50% for both of them. Very good indeed. So that comes in, that comes in clutch quite a bit, because there's a lot of people out there that love their stealthy little torpedo boats, and to have that torpedo protection is just a bonus. And not to mention the speed and maneuverability of the South Dakotas. When I say South Dakotas, by the way, I am talking about the Massachusetts and the Alabama, because both Massachusetts and Alabama were both South Dakota class battleships. But I'm comparing them both together in this video a little bit, just to give you guys a little bit of yeah, because I know a lot of people ask questions about both of the ships, like, hey, what's better, this or that? And honestly, I would say the Massachusetts is better, just because you've got those extra, you got that extra secondary range, and you've got very slightly better torpedo protection by, like, I think 1 or 2%, nothing too noticeable. And yeah, by the way, there's our first kill of the game off that Torpedo Protection. Not too bad at all. But going back to what I was saying, about the differences here between the Massachusetts and the Alabama, one of the main differences that I find is the Alabama is more of a sniper. If you are trying to go, so if you don't have the MASSA or the BAMA and you're looking for one of these things to pick up and you don't know what, if you like sniping more, if you like, building into accuracy, I recommend Alabama. Alabama does have a slightly better Sigma/dispersion, so keep that in mind. The Massachusetts has a slightly worse sigma and dispersion and shell grouping, so keep that in mind as well. Very slight differences in the shell accuracy there, but if you're trying to go for a sniper, go for Alabama. If you're trying to go for more of a brawling focused battleship, go for Massachusetts. Otherwise, they are pretty much the same. Massachusetts has the increased secondary range. Very nice indeed. Now notice we are up to 42,000 damage. We have a Citadel in our name. We're doing pretty decent up to this point. Notice we're angling our armor. We are being focused, and we are in a legendary lobby. And I believe there is a Yamato out there also, you know, trying to shoot at me. But notice I'm not, you know, I do not want to push out there yet, because if I'm basically going to be the center of attention no matter what I try to do here. So what I am just doing here is angling my armor best I can, backing up, using my secondary range to my advantage here. Remember those beautiful 10-kilometer secondaries that I have on here. Absolutely going crazy. And one of the things I have on my commander, I have a inspiration that is truly just broken, and that would be none other than Justinian Lions. Justinian Lions increases the fire chance while your repair party is active by about 30%. That's right, my 127mm secondaries that shoot out to 10 kilometers can have up to a 50 to 60% fire chance while my repair party is active. That's a really, really crazy skill to have, especially for really any secondary ship. Justinian Lions, luckily for me, I got him out of a crate a long time ago, and yeah, he's one of the best secondary inspirations to have on your ship. And the other inspiration I have on, of course, is Franz von Hipper for the extra secondary range. If you guys are not wondering by now, I am running, in this match at least, I was running Willis Lee, I believe, actually. Yeah, Willis Lee. He is more of the, he's kind of the brawling slash tank slash secondary build captain. I recommend him for any sort of brawling builds you do here. Now notice we are a brawling build, but we still have pretty good shell grouping. I mean, that's pretty fantastic. Unfortunately, though, the shells hit a bit low there, hit his torpedo protection or whatever else, and unfortunately we get no results. Nothing much we can really do about that. Now, really, I think I've covered most of the major points on the Massachusetts. It's got a fantastic torpedo protection. It's got fantastic secondaries if you can build into them. You got great guns. And of course, you've got decent armor too. And one thing to point out as well, you've got American AA, so I mean, you're gonna have a lot of fun with that. And speaking of fun, we got a Citadel off that Montana. Montana's been going broadside long enough, down he goes. It's about damn time he gets taken out of the battle there for his mistakes. But and not to mention, guys, you know, the Massachusetts and the Alabama both have very good maneuverability and speed. They turn on a dime. They're very maneuverable, which really comes in handy when you're trying to dodge shells, dodge torpedoes, whatnot. You know, it really does help out a lot, and that's just something I really do enjoy about these ships, man. They're a lot of fun, and I don't have Alabama personally because I have my Massachusetts. Massachusetts, honestly, it does what Alabama does pretty much in the same way. It's just you've got a slight worse sigma than the Alabama, but really you don't notice it. You still get really good results out of this thing. It's a very consistent battleship, and that's what I love, you know, about battleships. If they're consistent, you got me. You got me hooked. So, yeah. Now we are up to 83k damage. Nothing too special yet, and we're a bit closer, so our shells are actually able to penetrate this Republique at 9 kilometers. Very nice. We lobbed it over the island. And notice that we are sitting in the capture zone. We've got a friendly Lenin here off to my starboard side, giving some support, and mainly giving that broken skill called Will to Rebuild. Very nice indeed. We are just going to be able to sit here, chill. We got 20 seconds left on the cap. And yeah, our team is doing pretty decent up to this point, although I'm quite, you know, I'm still quite concerned about the destroyer that decided to flank all the way around. Yeah. That's pretty scary. If you guys look in the top left at the minimap, there is a enemy destroyer last spotted near our spawn. That's quite questionable to say the least. I don't know how he was able to pull that off, but hey, we won't question it. And yeah, so the enemy at this point only has 4 ships left, 2 cruisers, a battleship, and a destroyer. We've got 400 points, and the enemy only has 100. We are doing pretty damn fantastic, and we're about to get Charlie, and in which we do, we get an assist in capture. Because the Lenin was there to help us. Hell yeah, shout out to that Lenin. Now, we do have only 1 kill. We've got 2 Citadels, 102,000 damage. Not the most crazy game by any means, but, you know, I just wanted to make this video to talk a bit about the Massachusetts and, you know, give some teaching moments too here. Coming up shortly, I'm going to show you guys what I mean about teaching moments, but mainly we've already kind of taught a little bit. You know, angle your armor, guys. You know, there's so many people out there that actually do not even know armor is a thing. I know. There are people out there that have zero idea how to play this game, and they don't even know what armor is. If you actually go to your menu, go to your armor viewer, look at your armor, you've got 32 millimeters of balanced stern armor on most Tier 7 battleships, which means 16-inch guns, aka 406 or 406s or higher, can't overmatch you. So that's, you know, just pay attention to your armor, angle to the most dangerous ships, shoot at the most dangerous ships, unless you got like a priority target and you're able to just absolutely smack somebody. But yeah, not understanding, you know, armor angling this late into the game. If you have Tier 7 ships and you don't understand armor angling, if you don't understand positioning, you know, that's a big issue. Now, with all that being said, enough talking about issues here. Notice that we are spotted. Enemy destroyer is within my concealment here. I've got 13.3 kilometer concealment. Destroyer is very, very close indeed. Now, I'm not too worried here, but notice I'm looking to where I think he is. 100% the DD. Yeah, there's his torpedoes. I believe it is an enemy Salmers. But yeah, we are turning away. You know, we're not going to go chase him. We have no need to be aggressive here. We have the points lead. We don't need to be stupid. And I know this. You know, we're going to win the game if we just wait. So I turn away, and I'm starting to make my way towards the southern end of the map here. There's no need to be aggressive, especially while you're being torped at by one of the best torpedo boats at Tier 7. Somers is a very nasty little torpedo boat, so we don't have any, you know, need here to be aggressive. So we're just, you know, sailing away. And we're going to take the win here. Only ship that is left is, of course, that Somers, and there's another cruiser towards the western side of the map, towards Alpha. It looks like one of our cruisers is in a fight with him. It is a Minotaur. So, yeah, very interesting indeed. But that, ladies and gentlemen, I think will be a win. So, to conclude this video, you know, what ships do I recommend if you guys are wanting to pick like a Tier 7 battleship? I would say Massachusetts is a very good pick, but you can't go wrong either with the Alabama. Alabama, it's if you like sniping more, if you like, for example, the Iowa, right? If you like playing like an Iowa kind of style where you're bow in sniping, which I don't always recommend. I recommend if you're in a battleship to take hits for your team, but if you like sniping more and you like super accurate battleships, go for BAMA. But if you like a mix of like, you know, if you like a mix between secondaries and decent guns, you can't go wrong with Massachusetts, man. It's got almost identical accuracy to the Alabama. It's a little worse. I don't notice it too much, really, at all. But, yeah, I would say you can't go wrong with either. I think they're two very strong battleships, but I personally prefer my Massachusetts. I got it back when it was a campaign ship about a year ago. And, yeah, it's my favorite battleship to date. Love this ship so much. And, yeah, so I love it so much that I decided to get a permanent camo, a black shadow camo on this thing. So, anyways, guys, that is going to be about it. Notice that I'm sitting here. Enemy Somers is actually in the capture zone. How do I know this? Well, look, I mean, it's being capped here. So we know the Somers is very, very close. And he is in the capture zone. And I don't know what the heck he's been doing the whole game. He's been sailing around the, you know, back of our spawn. Not, you know, not the most, I would say, smartest plays you can do, but hey, it is what it is. Now we get our Confederate medal. We absolutely smack the crap out of that Somers, bringing our damage up to 113k. Not too shabby. And yeah, we also get some defense ribbons because we did hit that destroyer, of course. So we managed to contest the cap just for a little bit longer, so that way he can't flip it. Now, torpedoes, obviously, we're expecting them. You know, we're angling away. We know the torpedoes are inbound, you know what I mean? So we're not going to be stupid about this. And by the way, look at that accuracy. Not even targeting anybody. You see what I mean, guys? I'm a full brawling build, I believe, in this match. And, yeah, like, accuracy still is very decent with this thing, man. It really is. But with that being said, really not much else to talk about with this game. We're basically just sitting here baiting this Somers to shoot his torpedoes at us. He's not able to hit us. Match is going to be over with in about 10 seconds. And yeah, so nonetheless, guys, I thank you very much for for staying in this far into this one. It was kind of a teaching moments kind of video. I hope you all learned something, and maybe you guys, you know, if you don't have Massachusetts and you want some global XP to spend something on, it's a very good ship to go for. Remember, Secondaries on MASSA, very accurate, very, very good indeed. You can't go wrong with this thing. It's a fun boat. Love it very much so. But that's a victory, ladies and gentlemen. 113,000 damage. Third on the leaderboard. We had some pretty good teammates, I cannot lie. GG's to everybody. Have a great rest of your days, wherever you're at in the world. And I will catch you all next time. Peace out. Stay healthy, as always.